On September 18th, the U.S. Federal Reserve, Fed, implemented a significant 0.5% cut to its benchmark interest rate. This follows a period during the COVID-19 pandemic when rates were slashed to near zero to encourage consumer spending, and later raised to a range of 5.25% to 5.5% starting in March 2022. The question now is, why did the Fed make this substantial rate cut, and what could it mean for South Korea? To comprehend the implications of the recent big cut, it is essential to understand the concept of interest rates. Interest rates indicate the cost of borrowing money and are expressed as a percentage. For example, if an individual borrows 100 million won from a bank at an interest rate of 1%, they will owe an additional 1 million won in interest upon repayment. If the interest rate is 5%, then they will owe an additional 5 million won to the bank. The benchmark interest rate is the indicator that banks use to set their rates, and each country's central bank determines this rate based on the financial market and economic conditions. Low interest rates reduce the cost of borrowing, encouraging both consumption and investment. However, if too much money circulates, it can diminish the value of currency and lead to rising prices, a situation known as inflation. On the flip side, higher interest rates can help control inflation and prevent excessive household debt and speculative investments, though they may also suppress consumer spending and investment activity. As such, the benchmark interest rate is a crucial indicator that significantly impacts a country's economy and must be adjusted very delicately. Therefore, central banks typically adjust rates by 0.25% points at a time. For example, if the rate is 1%, it can be adjusted within the range of 0.75% to 1.25% to prevent extreme shocks or fluctuations. The term baby denotes small adjustments in interest rates. For instance, a rate increase of 0.25% is termed a baby step, while a decrease of the same amount is called a baby cut. When adjustments exceed this range, a change of 0.5% is labeled a big cut. A 0.75% adjustment is termed a giant cut, and a 1% change is referred to as an ultra cut. So, why did the Fed implement a big cut instead of a baby cut? Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, explained that the inflation targeted through interest rate increases has stabilized, and the labor market has weakened, leading to an increase in the unemployment rate, which serves as the background for the rate cut. He also added that the move aims to prevent an economic slowdown and stimulate consumption and investment. Moreover, he left the door open for the possibility of further interest rate cuts. What impact will the U.S. big cut have on the South Korean economy? There is a growing possibility that South Korea will also face pressure to lower its interest rates. As the U.S., the world's largest financial market, reduces rates, an atmosphere is being created both domestically and internationally that calls for interest rate cuts. Some domestic economists argue that South Korea should join the trend of rate reductions to boost consumption and stimulate the economy.